Imagine a world where a silent giant controls almost every part of your life. Games, payments, even conversations. It operates behind the scenes, and you've never even noticed. This is the story of Tencent, a company so powerful it makes Facebook, Samsung, and MasterCard look like mere players on the sidelines. It's not a household name, but what if I told you that Tencent is quietly shaping your digital reality without you even realizing it? Let's rewind a bit. Tencent didn't storm into the market with flashy ads or huge announcements. It didn't need to. Instead, it spread its influence like a shadow, expanding silently into every corner of the business world. It started small, just one app at a time, until it was everywhere. Whether you're scrolling through social media, playing games, or making payments, Tencent is there, often without your knowledge. The reach of this company is staggering, stretching far beyond its origins in China. As Tencent grew, its grasp on the global market tightened, and what seemed like a local tech company became an empire. At the heart of this empire is WeChat, the app that would change everything. Initially, it seems like just another messaging app, but to those in China, it's far more than that. It's your bank, your ride-hailing service, your grocery store, your social network, all rolled into one platform. For the average user in China, it's an app they simply cannot live without. It's where they pay their bills, shop for groceries, order a taxi, book a hotel, and chat with friends. This digital ecosystem is so ingrained in daily life that the average user spends about 4 hours a day on WeChat, making it the go-to app for just about everything. But what started as a convenient tool has grown into something far more unsettling. Every tap, every swipe, every payment, all tracked, collected, and stored. And the scariest part, the Chinese government has access to all of it. Every time you use WeChat, every message you send, every bill you pay. It's not just between you and the person on the other end. It's part of a larger surveillance system. And that system is directly tied to Tencent, the company behind WeChat. At first, this might seem like an inconvenience, but the implications are far darker. Imagine sending a private message to a friend, only to find out later that the government is reading every word. Or think about ordering food from your favorite restaurant through the app. In China, this isn't just a transaction, it's a potential data point. And with that data, Tencent not only controls the flow of information, but also wields incredible power. This isn't just about collecting data, it's about controlling what you see and what you say. But Tencent doesn't stop with WeChat. The company's tentacles reach much further. Tencent's influence extends into social media, gaming, payments, and entertainment, not just in China, but across the globe. It began acquiring stakes in companies like Reddit, Spotify, and Tesla, each acquisition adding another layer to its sprawling empire. By making strategic investments, Tencent positioned itself as a silent influencer in industries where it wasn't even the dominant player. For example, the company owns Riot Games, the developer behind the wildly popular game League of Legends, and it holds a 40% stake in Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite. Tencent is also heavily involved in the gaming scene with investments in Ubisoft and Activision Blizzard, further solidifying its place at the top of the gaming world. But the company's reach doesn't stop at gaming. Tencent has become a giant in the digital payments space as well, rivaling industry leaders like Visa and MasterCard. With its WeChat Pay and QQ Wallet apps, Tencent is slowly taking control of global payments, offering a seamless way for consumers to buy and sell goods. This isn't just about convenience, it's about control. Tencent doesn't just let you make purchases, it lets you track them, record them, and control the flow of money itself. While Tencent was busy expanding its empire in China, the company also looked outward, and its global influence began to grow. As it secured its foothold in the Chinese market, it began acquiring stakes in companies around the world. Its investments weren't just random purchases. They were part of a grand strategy to control the global digital landscape. And Tencent's reach wasn't confined to tech. It stretched into entertainment, media, and e-commerce, industries where Tencent had less of a direct presence, but still managed to influence through investments and partnerships. With each investment, Tencent built a tighter web of control. It wasn't just about owning pieces of companies. It was about creating an ecosystem. And that ecosystem reached into every aspect of modern life, from how you play games to how you spend your money. And the question was no longer if Tencent could succeed. It was how far its influence would stretch. As Tencent's empire grew, so did the concerns about its ties to the Chinese government. Tencent, like many other companies operating in China, is deeply intertwined with government policies and regulations. The Chinese government doesn't just regulate Tencent, it relies on it. This relationship has raised serious concerns about privacy, freedom of expression, and government control. The Chinese government has access to all the data collected by Tencent's apps and platforms, and that includes the ability to monitor and censor conversations. If you make a joke about a government official or express a politically sensitive opinion, it's not just going to disappear into the digital ether. It could be suppressed or deleted. The worst part, this system isn't limited to China. As Tencent's influence spreads around the world, its relationship with the Chinese government raises alarms. Governments in the West are beginning to recognize the implications of Tencent's power, and questions are being asked about the future of privacy, freedom of speech, and digital surveillance. But the story doesn't end there. Tencent isn't content with simply controlling social media, gaming, and payments. It's eyeing a bigger prize, the metaverse. With its dominance in digital spaces, Tencent is well positioned to become a leader in the metaverse, a virtual world where users can socialize, play games, shop, and work. With its massive gaming and social media infrastructure, Tencent could easily take over this new digital frontier, creating a virtual reality that is entirely controlled by the company. The metaverse would give Tencent even more power to control interactions, purchases, and most disturbingly, your every move. Imagine a world where your every action in the metaverse is tracked. Every game you play, every purchase you make, every conversation you have. It's all part of Tencent's ecosystem. And just like WeChat, Tencent would have access to it all. This wouldn't just be a new frontier for entertainment. It would be a tool for surveillance. A world where every interaction is monitored, every choice you make is tracked, and every aspect of your digital identity is controlled. Tencent's influence isn't just limited to technology. It has become a global force for control, shaping the future of how we live, communicate, and even think. And the scariest part, it's not just about convenience anymore. Tencent is leveraging its reach to create a digital ecosystem that prioritizes control over freedom, data over privacy, and power over autonomy. So what happens next? What happens when a company like Tencent controls not just your phone, but your entire life? It's not just a digital empire, it's a digital dictatorship in the making. As Tencent's reach expands, so does its power. And with each new app, investment, and acquisition, it tightens its grip on the world. But there's still hope. We, as consumers, have the power to demand more transparency, more control, and more privacy. As Tencent continues to expand its influence, it's up to us to ask the hard questions. What does it mean when one company has so much control over our lives? Are we willing to trade our freedom for convenience? This is just the beginning of the story. Tencent has already proven that it's capable of changing the digital landscape. But what happens when it controls the next frontier? The metaverse, AI, smart cities, and beyond. As we look to the future, it's clear that Tencent isn't just a tech company. It's a force that will shape our digital reality for decades to come. So, what do you think? Is Tencent's influence a sign of progress, or is it the beginning of something much darker? Is it time to question how much power a single company should have over our lives? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most powerful tech companies in the world, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. The next digital empire is already here, and it's watching.